emailing. That's how I got to where I'm at today.
Like, sending out hundreds of emails.
Sending out emails.
Yeah, I believe you, man.
That's it. You definitely gotta have discipline for sure, because there's some days you might not be in the mood, but you gotta get it done. You know, there's.
Why he looking at my shawty like he dead wrong? I'm gonna hit him one time, get his head gone. Keep him quiet.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of Secrets of Silent Success. Today we have the one and only Eclipse Darkness once again. How you doing this afternoon, brother?
Yes, sir. Doing great. Blessed. Thank y'all again for having me, man. It's always a pleasure coming on to the show.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And yeah, things have been great. You know, glad to be here, and ready to get into it.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll jump right into it, man. I know I commented on one of your posts the other day. You had a placement on NBA 2K.
Yes.
Right? And I didn't see you on Jersey Shore, WWE. I mean, you like killing the game. So tell me about these placements that you got recently and kind of what's been new for you.
Man, it's crazy because those placements come from some records that I did probably like a year ago.
Okay.
And so like they're still, you know, in the library, of course, you know, they're going to be there forever. But it's always great, you know, to hear my production on some of my favorite shows. The WWE one, that one actually, I was shocked because that record actually did less than a year ago. Okay. So, you know, people always ask me, you know, when will it hit? And it's like, you never know, you know, depending on what the show is looking for, you know, that music supervisor, then it just might be at the right time that you know, made the perfect record. But yeah, man, the placements, they've been coming in like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just, you know, just happy to see it. And that's kind of, you know, more motivation for me to just keep cooking them up and working on albums for, you know, the next year.
Yeah, you talking about keep cooking them up. I know Russ, the rapper, he's real big on just putting out a song every single week, right?
Yes.
Sometimes that consistency will, it's going to be there eventually, right? So
real.
Tell me a little bit about your consistency. What's your method to creating these albums, to creating your singles, to have the ability for when WWE or Jersey Shore, MTV go on, they're like, okay, I like that one. Something that you made way back when you've been consistent with the content. Tell me about your process.
Right. So it really depends on like, because I have clients now, you know, the major labels, you know, the major labels are our clients. There's some other labels that come to us too, and they reach out and they're like, you know, can you work on, you know, this album for us? We're looking for this, you know, genre, etc. Or we're working on this show. Yeah. Can your team produce, you know, the show for us? So it's just like, you know, with that and the partnerships that we have with companies like BMG, you know, Production Music, it makes it easy, you know, because there's always work, right? So I had to build a team of songwriters and composers. You know, we're at like 160 something, maybe 173, something like that. Right now, as far as on
people?
Yeah, people. Yeah,
okay,
songwriters and composers.
You said 173. That's a ton of people. Okay,
yeah,
we'll get to that in a second. Go
right,
ahead.
Right. So we're still trying to grow. But you know, as far as my system, man, like I just try to make sure I get the briefs from the client or pretty much lay out the year as far as what albums I want to put out each month. And once I do that, then I figure out, okay, what producers may fit very well, you know, for this genre, for this project, that project. Reach out to them, have them cook up at least a track to 3, you know, a piece that we can, you know, go through and approve. And then get the songwriters to knock it out, or, you know, I'll knock it out myself, and then package it up and then ship it out, you know. So it's really a simple and easy process. It's just you have to get the work done. You have to be disciplined and set aside time to get the work done. It take me 3 hours, you know, to knock out a record from scratch. You know, I hear a track, I start recording. Within 3 hours, I'm done with the entire song. Yeah. You know, and then I ship it out to my engineer for, you know, some final touches on the mix and master. Yeah. And it's ready to go. So once you figure out a system that works for you, it's like, scale up on it, you know, do that 10x. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for songwriters, you know, like myself who can knock out records at home, or it's really cost effective. You know, they don't have to spend a lot to get to the studio. Yeah. So those are really my target songwriters and artists that I look for because I know they can turn around work quick. Yeah. You know, so if I can get, you know, 10 more of me doing that, knocking out records in 3 hours, we'll have 2, 3, 4 albums, you know, a month. But right now we're looking good doing on pace of like an album a month,
Yeah.
which is really good. You know,
Well, you saying an album a month.
Yeah.
I don't know if people heard that, a month, an
Yeah.
album a month. Like that is insane to
and
think
these
about.
are 8 to 10 track, albums. But
Wow.
but when you look at it, if you're able to do music full time, right? You have 30 days in a month, and if it's taking you 3 to 4, say 3 to 5 hours to knock out a record, then you need to set aside at least just 2 weeks, and then the other 2 weeks of the month you can do whatever. If you knock out a record a day, and boom, just alone you can produce an album in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I want you to go a little bit more granular on this schedule, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because as creatives, it's like, well, when I feel inspired to write, or when I feel inspired
that's a good one.
to make the song, but it sounds like you got a regiment. You're regimented with your art form, right?
Yes.
Tell me, like I said, on a granular level, what does that look like? Like, are you having Monday through Thursday, I go to the studio from 8 to 12? Like, what does it look like on your schedule to be able to pump out an album a month? You talking about 2-3 albums a month, which is just insane.
Yeah, so I get up, say at least by 9, 10, get my day going. Sometimes I get up earlier, depending on, if I'm going to be gone the next week, getting ready to go out of town, because I have clients that I still fly out and work with. So majority of the time I get up, around 9, 10. I pretty much have a track in mind, but sometimes I don't, because I have a whole list of records to go through. So I'll just pick one. I'll say, let's knock out some epic hip-hop today. Put the track on. Listen to it, then immediately start recording. From there, I just start recording, lay down a melody, and then I'll go back and listen to the melody. If I love it, what I'm hearing, then I start putting words to it, and I start rapping or singing the words on the track. By 1 o'clock, I'm done with the record. After that, I'm checking emails or sending out emails. To clients, looking for more partnerships. Reaching out to more music directors and supervisors. So I do that about 2 hours out of the day. So then around like 3, 4, and I have a daughter. So in between doing this, I'm making sure she's, she has her assignment too. She'll come in the room. Hey, Daddy, I'm done. Okay, all right, Sophie, let's do this page next. And knock out 19 through 25, then I check it. So in between all that,
That's funny. That's real. That's
real.
Life.
Yeah. So I'm working with her. Typically, from when I'm checking emails and stuff like that, get her lunch, get her fed. I'm eating at the same time while I'm, working on the emails. And then I may, after when it's nap time for her, around like 3, I may go ahead and work out a little bit for an hour or get back to knocking out another track. And that's when I'm doing like 2 tracks a day, because then I can be done with my entire day by 6 o'clock. And typically with the wifey managing the restaurant, she open up the restaurant, she's done by 5 or 6, and then had the rest of the day, to spend with the family. So it's just really about time management, and I know what my window is, and it's just like showing up, being disciplined every single day, So for me, I don't really do like a Monday through Friday. Sometimes I will, take off on Saturday and Sunday, for the family.
Sure.
Gotta make family time. But if the wifey got something, or Sophie's, at her grandma's house, they want her for the weekend, then I'm knocking out another record, So and it takes no time to me. 3-4 hours a day devoted to your craft, man. That's nothing. That's not. Sometimes I feel like I could be, doing even more. So that's pretty much what it looks like, man. I just get it done, and now you do it so much, it's just kind of
formulaic.
Yeah, it just flows right out. Effortless. So once you pick up that system and figuring out what works for you, I tell people, man, stick with it and try to scale up 10x that. For sure.
How did you figure out what worked for you? Was it trial and error? Was it learned by doing? Did you do a lot of things that didn't work for you first?
It was trial and error for sure. I tell people, fail fast. Like, I know we hear it may sound cliche, but fail fast, because now okay, this don't work, this don't work, this don't work, this don't work. And you can narrow in on what does work, and get there sooner.
Give me an example. Give me a story of something that you failed fast on that you don't do anymore.
Oh yeah. So like, even when I started running ads, like for my music, just trying to get more plays and get on playlists and get on, get streams and stuff like that. I was not doing it right. You know, I didn't have a good copy. I was just putting the song up and putting money into, you know, pushing it without having a catchy, you know, tagline or anything
Without a
to
game
draw
plan.
people. Yeah, without drawing people in. So over time, you know, I was just wasting money pretty much, but at the same time, it's not a waste because you learn from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I tell people when I first started, like I wasn't the best at it, you know. So it took failing to kind of figure out, okay, let me try this. Let me try switching up my my demographic. Let me try switching up the age range. So it was just all those things that I wasn't aware of that over time, going back looking at, you know, analytics and stuff like that, I was able to make adjustments and then, you know, figure it out. But yeah, there's plenty of things I've failed at when it comes to when I first started doing, I say like R&B. Of course I wasn't the greatest. So like figuring out, you know, certain melodies to use, learning the keys and things like that.
Yeah.
I didn't go to school
no music theory
the key.
classes.
The class, you know what I'm saying? So, I did, you know, music and theater in high school, but it was more so theater than it was music in that sense with knowing different keys and stuff like that. So over time I had to figure out, you know, what keys to sing in and things like that so that it meshes well with records, you know. So, cause people know I got a record called Do You that hit the charts, top 30. On iTunes, and it's an R&B record. Yeah. You know, and it's just like, yo, it took me a minute to get there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't
come out just singing like Usher.
Right, exactly. You know, so it's just like, man, and what did it for me was I wanted singers on my songs, but it was hard to find people or hard to get people to get it done. Yeah. So I was like, man, forget it. I'm going to do it myself. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to learn, you know? And so I was just trying it. And, I remember the first song that I did, you know, singing. It was horrible. Not, you know, thinking back now, you know, compared to where we are. But we definitely come a long way. And, man, just being able to hit the charts with an R&B record, which is not my first genre. That's not my primary genre. You know, hip-hop rap is. It just goes to show you, man, if you stick to something and work at it, hey, you definitely going to get better. You know, at it for sure.
Let me ask you this question, because you say if you stick to something and work at it, the results will come. Yes. So I'm gonna push back a little bit. Okay. I think if you stick at it and work at the right things, the results will come. Because you can work, but if it's not high leverage work, you just run in the circle.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you, what are your 3 things that you do that are the most high leverage? If someone wants to get placements, the type of placements that you got, what are 3 things they can be working on every day to leverage that?
I say number 1 is understanding the business. So just edifying themselves on production music and the different terms that they'll come across so that they know how to approach any library, potential client or partner that they're pursuing. So a lot of people, they don't understand, you know, how it works. They think, okay, I can just pitch this record to HBO or a network, and it's like, nah, that's not how it goes. So number 1, you definitely gotta do your research, understand the business, figure out how it works, because the key to getting placements is just honestly finding a library, building a relationship with a library, which is pretty much what I created to open up opportunities for others in Dallas, songwriters and composers. So, and I'll tell you about that. But yeah, so that's number 1. Number 2 is the discipline. You definitely gotta have discipline for sure. Because there's some days you might not be in the mood, but you got to get it done. You know, there's some days like I may not want to, you know, record and knock out a record, but I know and I've seen the results. So I'm like, nah, man, you better go ahead and knock out this record. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can buy yourself more time to, you know, go on vacation, which we doing in June. I can't wait. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's number 2. And just sticking to the plan, you know, is number 3 for sure. I posted not too long ago, you know, stick to the plan. I tell people, stick to the plan. Yes, it's okay to, you know, pivot, but even when you pivot, you can still, you know, stick to the plan, because I've had to do that. Being a songwriter and trying to get more placements and buy myself more time, I've had to pivot, which is why I created I Like That Music. Because I'm like, I can't knock out all these records on my own. I got to figure out how I can get some help. So, and it helped me solve the challenge I was facing with partnerships with certain companies like AP and BMG. I learned and found out that they only partner with labels or libraries, with catalogs.
Not individuals.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So you can't, as a songwriter or composer, you can't have partnerships with these companies. So I figured that out, and I said, okay, no problem. Started my LLC, got the website up and running, all the social media accounts, and all that for I Like That Music. And, man, reached out, and I used all of my work as a songwriter, you know, as leverage. And I had I Like That Music represent all of that work.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Makes
instead
sense.
of it coming from, you know, Eclipse Darkness, it's like, oh, this is...
Now it's funneled through the...
I Like That Music, the library,
Gotcha.
you know. So I figured that out, man, and I was like, oh, man, I'm finna run it up with partnerships now. You know? I'm that's it? It's like, that's the secret right there, the secret sauce. So if y'all listening to this, man, y'all trying to get into production music, sync, that's the secret sauce. You need to have a relationship, be working with a library, because all the top dogs, music supervisors, directors, they go to libraries only. They don't go to songwriters and composers. You know, so you cook up, get your stuff in the library, and boom, let them administrate it, publish it, and you're definitely gonna see some syncs pop up for sure.
Got you. Any advice on how to stand out in the library, right? Because it's every market is saturated. Us as video and content creators are saturated. As musicians, songwriters are saturated. How do you stand out once you get in the library?
I think that will, once you figure out your sound and you know who you are as an artist, whether, you know, songwriter or composer, you'll know that you have a distinctive sound, so you won't really have to worry about that too much, trying to stand out, because all you need to do once you get in and you start knocking out, you know, work, is just stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself, because when it comes to the industry, right, and we're not talking about production music, say you trying to be the next, you know, Drake or Lil Wayne or something like that, you're always going to have these outside influences, right? People tell you, oh, you need to do like this, or this is what's trending right now, this is what the sound is on the radio. With production music, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just need to do you, and it just needs to be quality work, and somebody's going to find it. You know, if you're with the right library who understands metadata, and all the keywords and how to package up these albums, you're definitely gonna get found. So that's what I love about it too. Because as an artist too, everybody was like, oh man, you know, you rapping fast, anybody trying to hear that, or you know, that nobody rap fast no more, you know, this and that. And it's like, okay, you know, we you know, we gonna see, you know. So like, I have records where I get to just do me. The freedom is phenomenal. I get to do me. If I want to rap fast and showcase my talent and my skill set, you know, doing that, I can do that on records and they still get picked up. You know, I have a record that is still getting used to this day. I did 2-3 years ago, you know, where I'm twisting, you know, rapping fast, you know, doing my thing. And it's just like, man, you don't have to listen to anybody. Do what works for you. Stay true to yourself. And them placements are definitely gonna come for sure.
So I know you have your own library, your own label. We're gonna get to that in a second, right? But before we get to that, for those who are trying to establish a relationship with the library, what's the steps?
Emailing. That's how I got to where I'm at today. Like,
sending out hundreds of emails.
Yeah,
I believe you, man.
That's it. And people ask me all the time, like, man, I don't know what to tell you. I shoot my shot. I send emails, I send DMs. And of course you want to do it professionally. So, you know, get your pitch together and things like that. But my advice is, whoever you're interested in, email them, because these libraries, they're looking for more works. You know, because it helps everybody. More works for them. That means, more placements, more sync fees, and money for them, more money for the songwriters and composers, who create the work. So
yeah, let me dive a little bit deeper on that. You say email them, because I'm not a cold caller, right? And I'm not, and I'll just be transparent as a young black man. I'm not a person to walk inside an establishment either, right? So email is my friend, right? So absolutely. I send all of the emails, but there's so many tips and tricks on the emails, right? How you formulate the questions, how you formulate the subject line, right? Yep. So give me some gems on how you sending those emails to those libraries and to those people to get a response. Because I think once you get a response, your quality of work and your personality can take over. You can get it. It's all about getting that first response. So how do you get that first response via email?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So first, make sure you know how your potential partner or client likes to receive works, right? So a lot of times, if you dig deep enough on these websites, for example, Warner Chappell, Universal Production Music, Sony Publishing, BMG, etc. They, on their website, they have specifically how they like to receive it to increase your chances of them opening and discovering your email and getting back with you. So that's number one. Make sure, for example, Warner Chappell Production Music, if you're watching this, you can go pull up their site right now. You can click on Production Music. It'll take you to like a contact tab. There should be a contact or submissions tab, and it walks you through how to submit your music to them, right? So that's number one. Number two, say you have some experience, and if you don't, that's fine too. But if you have some experience as far as a placement or anything you can use as leverage to increase your value, include that in the email. Because people, of course, want to be around winners. Winners want to be around other winners. Yeah. So if you
and I'll add to that real quick. So you're talking about having placements. Placement doesn't have to be with an MTV show. You can have a local filmmaker that you get a placement on the short film, and they made a film festival, and that is a placement still. Yeah. So you can finesse your placements too. But go ahead. Yeah.
So you use some of those credits. Include a little success story. Something that you've achieved here recently, with your works. Yep. Include that in there. Use that as a leverage. This is the most crucial piece of information I can give you guys. When it comes to submitting, do not submit waves or MP3s. They will not open your email. Anyone in this industry, they can tell you they will not open your email. So what you want to do is you want to create a playlist using Dropbox or Box, some sort of playlist that they can click on. It'll take them to a collection of the works, and they can, listen to it from there. APM, if you go to APM Music site, they'll tell you the same thing. BMG, Warner, Universal, they'll tell you the same thing. So moving forward, when you submit, keep that in mind. I think that's half your battle right there, because people don't understand that. And now that I'm in, and I've been in for the past 4 to 5 years, I hear the music supervisors, directors, and VPs, mention that, and bring that up as an issue. Like, people are flooding us with, this, and that. So make sure you use Box. I use Box preferably. Okay. I have a folder, and I have so many subfolders. So if you're looking to, submit multiple albums, create you a playlist link with a folder and send that to them, and make sure you're clear about what's in the folder and what you want them to pay attention to. But I would say keep it simple, 8 to 10 tracks. If it's a high energy hip hop, tailored album, make sure you include that. You can name it, so for example, hey, I have this album here. This one is called Finish Line. Yeah. Album Finish Line, high energy hip hop, perfect for ads, TV, film, sports promo, and also trailers, even video games. So if you include that, let them know, hey, this is what this is made for. That gives them even more information and direction. Like, oh yeah, we're actually looking for something like that right now with our new deal with CBS March Madness. That, so be specific, about what's in the link, and you're going to get a response.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I like to say when you're soliciting your work, to do the work for the person you're soliciting to, right? So if you already say, hey, this is high energy, this is this, that, the quality is there. It ain't nothing to revise on the track. You've already compiled it all for them. You're doing the work. You're making their job easy.
I'm glad you said that, because that's another secret too.
Yeah.
When you include the metadata and the splits
There you go.
and all that, I'm gonna give y'all a real gem.
It's the real game.
This is the real game. So, everything I said, plus, and we're gonna do one example, Warner Chappell, because I'm working on multiple albums for them right now. If you provide them with a link to the album, title of the album, the metadata, and that's on an Excel spreadsheet of like the title of the album, a description of the album with a list of each track, a description of the track, the tempo, the key, the songwriters, the composers, the timestamp, the length, and keywords. And
do you give multiple variations of the song ever?
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. But I would say keep it simple. You know, a nice mixed track list.
Yeah.
If you include the metadata, the artwork, the title, like you said, most of the work is done.
It's done for them.
It's done. And different versions, 30-second, 60-second, only bass and drum, no vocals, acapella. Because what
They're
they
salivating when you sing that to the
because they're looking at this person gets it. They're easy to work with.
Yeah.
They understand how we like to receive the works, and all we have to do is just boom, upload it. It's done.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the biggest part. Like I said again, understanding the business. That's part of the understanding the business. You know, how they like to receive the information in the works, what makes it easy for them, and they know, okay, this is somebody we want to partner with or make a client, because we don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, and then at that
make
point,
it as easy as possible.
Easy as possible.
Yeah.
Easy as possible. And that's pretty much the system, you know, that we have in place, which is why we're seeing so much success. Is because we make it easy. You know, we figured it out. We package everything and ship it out. They don't have to do anything but upload.
Got you. Talk to me a little bit about the library that you created and the label. I'm not sure if they're one and the same, they're different.
Yes.
Educate me a little bit on that.
Yeah, so it's one of the same. I pretty much realized, man, I was operating as a label and with everything that I was doing. And, you know, again, like I said earlier, once I figured out, oh, man, if I create a label, then I can secure a partnership with BMG Production Music. And at that point, there's no middleman. It's just me and them. Upload and we split, you know, everything as far as sync fees and things like that. So yeah, I Like That Music is a label, and we just have a catalog of music, you know, which is the same as the library, and it varies with genres. So we do everything, you know, even instrumental albums, all genres, trailer music, stump rock, you name it. So with that opened up the doors for pretty much everything that I could wish for and was within my 5 to 10 year plan, you know, when it comes to like my exit or retirement plan.
Yeah.
So we're definitely on our way for sure. Got the LLC knocked out. Like I said, the website is up. oilikeThatmusic.com, you know, spelled as is. The social media accounts, you know, people can follow us at I Like That Music. Can see the work that we're posting, the new albums, the placements, and also submit, you know, to us as well. So, yeah, man, that was it. I'm so glad I did that. I wish I had done it sooner, but you know, everything in due time.
In due time.
You know, and the timing is perfect right now, because BMG has shown a lot of interest, you know, and I had meetings with them, and now we're in the process of just knocking things out as far as the paperwork goes, you know, the label partnership. You know, once that happens, we're definitely going to celebrate. But I Like That Music is open to growing. You know, like I said, we have 100 plus songwriters and composers, and we want to continue to grow more. You know, we don't have a limit right now. So the more, the merrier. Yeah. You know, the more projects, the more placements. Yeah. So we're open for business, and we're going to be having some sync master classes
Okay.
real soon, within the next month or two.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we're gonna launch that here in Dallas. So,
Okay.
showing love to the home team, all the songwriters, composers in Dallas.
Yeah.
If y'all listening, we're gonna be having multiple, throughout the year, master classes, and we'd love to see you there. We want as many people to show up so we can educate them.
Yeah.
And help them with the opportunity of being able to make their career choice, and be able to do it full time and leave their their job if they wanted to.
Sure.
So that's our plan, man. That's our plan, to continue to grow and create true partnerships, with songwriters and creatives.
Got you. What are you looking for in a songwriter, in a composer, to be brought under the music catalog library? What are you looking for in those individuals?
So right now, we're really looking at the speed that we're moving. We're really looking for seasoned songwriters and composers. So those with experience for like the past, I say maybe 4 years, 3 to 4 years, because it definitely takes time and development when you have someone who's fresh.
I train them up a little bit.
Yeah, right. And so that's cool too. What I typically do is I just partner them up, with somebody else who's or have them shadow somebody who's more seasoned, or continue to send them, references and things like that.
Makes sense.
Study this, study that. But right now, we're looking for songwriters and composers who are pretty seasoned. Of course, anybody who has experience with production and sync music, definitely want you a part of the team. And like I said, the master classes are going to be more so for those who are, fresh and new.
Sure.
That way, they can be a part of the team, but at the same time, they can go through we're going to do workshops too, but go through the classes, and that'll speed up the process.
Yep.
So it's like we want to communicate that we want all songwriters and composers, to reach out and work with us. And even if you're not as seasoned, we have something in place, to get you there and speed up that process. So even if you're not, we're not saying no. We're just saying, hey, make sure you get in these classes that we have, and attend the workshops so that you can, get more works placed.
And for those, more seasoned songwriters, composers, how do they reach out? How do they get in contact with y'all? How do they get on the I like that music?
Man, they can hit that contact tab on the website, or I like that music.
Okay.
They can DM us on Instagram, Facebook. They can reach out, to me personally, which I get a lot, you know.
Okay.
So, everybody knows the official Eclipse on Instagram. That's the platform I'm on the most.
Yeah.
Definitely DM me there. Comment, if I don't answer a DM within a certain time, because the notifications are crazy. But we also have an email address. You can email us. It'll be changing pretty soon, as far as, because it's at Gmail right now.
Okay, yeah.
So we just set up the website emails. But right now, I like that music at gmail.com is where everyone can submit music, reach out, if they need more information. And just hit us up there. You can submit. Again, we only accept playlist links, so don't send us
no MP3s,
no waves,
files.
MP3s. Yes, please don't do that.
Yeah. Full circle, right? Full circle.
Absolutely.
Now you understand why they were saying it.
Yes. So now we're in their position, and our ultimate goal is to ultimately get these music supervisors and directors to reach out to us directly.
Yeah. Hey, I need this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we have a situation like that with some networks with CBS, so which is really good, and we just did the Man vs. Wild show. We're working on another show right now, Power Games. So we definitely are on the right track, to doing what we want to do with working with networks, doing their entire production, and then having people come directly to us. Instead of the partners, which is fine, but it just helps the songwriters and composers, and everybody eats even more when that happens. So man, y'all hit us up. I like that music at gmail.com for sure.
So on top of the placements in the music, you're doing so many other things as well, man. So tell me a little bit about the nonprofit that you're working with and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Wealthy Owners Living Free. I was made a board member on there. Shout out to my guy Donald. And we're basically pretty much looking for up and coming, independent businesses, helping them make the right connections and things like that to build capital to continue to, find investors to bring in capital to help them continue to grow. So that's definitely something that I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Been working with him on this for a minute, and just seeing the growth, it's been amazing. You know, from the start of it being an idea to now it's, official. You know, so congrats to Donald on getting that going, and I thank him a lot for adding me to the board. You know, and so we were talking the other day, and we was just like, man, like, I can already see the future, for this, like how big it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of companies that businesses we've already, reached out to, and brought them, on board and things like that. So it's definitely gonna be something to look out for sure. So, Wealthy Owners Living Free, Wolf, they can find that on social media. I'll actually be posting it on my stories and on my timeline as well. So if they're interested, they'll be able to find that.
Awesome. And I heard through the grapevine that you also got some reality TV things working up and cooking. Go ahead, tell me a little bit about that too.
Yes, man. So it's been a blessing to be a part of the show called The Rise. And, what we do on that show is we take artists and we go back the old school way of developing, artists. Because now it's like, labels don't really do that. There's nothing.
They want to find the million followers already,
when you already
ready-made,
exactly.
and boom, pop.
So we go old school with it. And it's definitely a journey. We just shot out for Grammy Week. We were out there for Grammy Week. Went and attended the Grammys and the after parties and things like that. And shout out to my guy Urko, Kanye's engineer. We stopped by his studio and did a session with him.
Wow.
Yeah, with one of the artists, Vex. He's one of the artists I'm mentoring and things like that. So got him some singles knocked out and mixed by Urko, and also some records for Sync. So we'll be getting him some placements pretty soon. But shout out to Miss Jones, man. She's the one who introduced me to the show and asked me to be a part of it. Shout out to Bobby as well. And it's just a amazing cast that we have, from all the artists. They work hard. They're rehearsing, they're taking feedback. We're working on marketing plans. They're, recording and doing shows and things like that. So I'm very excited about that show. Just stay tuned. We'll, we'll have more information on that as far as what network we're gonna go with and things like that. But we're shooting it right now, and I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. As we wrap up here, so obviously we know all the placement that you got going. We got the nonprofit helping businesses. We got the reality show coming. What else is in the pipeline? What else are you working on?
Man, we're working on bigger partnerships. Like I said, shout out to BMG Production Music. Once we ink that, that's gonna be huge. Not only for me, but everyone else who's associated with me, and every creative songwriter, composer, engineer, you name it. It's gonna help, especially everybody in the city, because that's who I want to start out with first.
Sure.
Here in Dallas, give back, and we're still rocking with Sprite. Man, we just did a campaign with them this past February for Black History Month. They've reached out and want to get a lot more done. Still have a commercial that we did, for them. And so that's in the talks right now of finally being able to possibly publish and do a big campaign with that. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Shout out to Chaotica Eyeball. Just did a partnership with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm going to be shooting some more content, with their product as well. It's a great sound. Get you sounding right and crispy, for those placements, and just releasing music in general. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Everything that we got going on right now. And I know there's going to be more. So, if y'all following me, please stay tapped in. Please reach out, if you want to work, because I want to work with any and everybody that has the drive and the hunger. So.
Cool. We'll leave it there, man. Next time we do this, we're going to be talking about them feature-length film placements next, man. I know we talked about it last time.
Yes, sir. I can't wait.
I appreciate you, brother.
So I appreciate you all for watching this episode of Secrets of Solid Success. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.